Greetings, Alexei here with another OpenApoc update. Another great, huge update, which is actually really small, but we have the hire and fire form finished. So it will be, of course, better improved so that the size of the items is better and so on. But for now, this is done, and you can hire and fire personnel. So, for example, let's ditch our androids and maybe get someone else like this. And what is great about the way I implemented it is that basically in vanilla units spawned at random buildings, which made not that much sense. They just spawned somewhere and just went to you. And there is a debate whether it was worth it to have, for example, high relationship with Graphball League to have more agents available for recruit, but it was not confirmed whether that's the case. So the way I implemented it is that you can set for every organization how many agents it generates every day at random. And so, for example, if you look at this, we have a recruit from Graphball League and a recruit from Osiron, which kind of makes sense. So in the current version, basically I analyzed all the political organizations in the Mega Primus, and I assigned every organization a weight, how many engineers, physicists, biochemists, and soldiers this organization will provide. So for example, for soldiers, this is Graphball League and Megapol and crime organizations providing soldiers, which are humans, and of course Mutant Alliance providing mutants, hybrids, and Self providing androids. For scientists, for biochemists, it would be organizations which would naturally think should have biochemists. So it's clinics and clinics like Nanotech Sanctuary Clinic, and organizations which work with something biological like recycling and basically so on and so forth. Same for physicists, so quantum physicists would come from organizations which work with technology like MarSec and I don't know, which was it also? Soul Mines, Super Dynamics, and so on. And engineers would come from many organizations because many organizations employ engineers. And also, of course, civilians would provide you with all sorts of agents. So even if you piss off most of the people in the city, you can still hire from civilians, but you would have less agents available. So let's get these agents to our base. Okay, they arrived. You can see, here they are. We can equip them now properly. And our fired agents have left their equipment at the base. So here is the equipment which our androids had that we have fired. Now let's recruit some other people. Let's actually build the living quarters quickly so that we can recruit more. Okay, let's recruit some quantum physicists, biochemists, and see where they come from. So once again, you can see Nutritive and Sanctuary Clinic, so makes sense once again, and Evonet. Okay, they arrived. I'm just fast forwarding time, and Taxi picked them up. So let's look for our quantum physicists this time. Okay, no accommodation. Let's fire someone. Okay, now we have accommodation. Again, let's look Cyberweb, Super Dynamics, Soul Mine, and of course, this case, Sanctuary Clinic, if you hire a civilian, you don't know if it's a civilian or not when you hire him, but if you hire a civilian, it will spawn at a random place, in this case, it's a civilian, so he spawned at a random place, which ended up to be Sanctuary Clinic. But anyways, let's fast forward and let's sack some people and let's hire some engineers. So where do the engineers come from? Again, Evonet, General Metro, Soul Mine. This is again, I think, a civilian engineer. MarSec. So as you can see, it makes way more sense now. It's like, it just generally makes more sense because people come from places which make like, which they would be employed at. So basically you hire them and they move from that workplace to your workplace. I mean, at the same time, you could say it makes no sense because, like, why would you hire directly from someone who already employs the personnel? But if we consider that XCOM is like an organization which is like made by the combined effort of the city and its political forces, which all want to be protected from the menace of the new aliens which come from dimension gates, it kind of makes sense that they would all pool their resources and offer their like more available or more talented personnel to you to further your cause. And then if we would, for example, if we would want to hire civilians only, I mean, like, if you want the people to come from the place, like, only like the people which are free, not employed, then like all the people should always come from only like the slums or apartments, but that's not the case in vanilla. They came from anywhere, like from whatever. So, and again, like in the vanilla, there was no point having relationships with organizations aside from like the main organizations, Transtellar, who transports your stuff, and like Megapol, Marsec, and some others who produce all the stuff you use. So it also, this way it makes more sense, like you would actually benefit more from having good relations with the city, and you would be harmed more if you have bad relations with the city. But if this ends up a problem, or if someone discovers how the vanilla algorithm properly worked for agents, because for now it's just debatable, like people debate if it was actually important to have good relationship with, like for example, if being allied with Graph Bull League increases your amount of soldiers you can purchase or not, that's debatable, no one really knows for sure yet. So if someone does figure that out, like maybe disassemble it or something, then we can of course change it and make it so that it's actually like properly vanilla implemented, and then people can mod like something like I did, because there's all the framework for it already done. So you can mod whatever you want. You can mod it like, you can mod so that you can, any organization can provide whatever list of hireable people they want. But for now I think this system is pretty close to vanilla, but at the same time it allows you to make more sense. Like you would look at things that are happening in the game and you would say, okay, that makes more sense. Like it makes sense for engineers to come from organizations which employ engineers, and for doctors, I mean biochemists to come from organizations which employ biochemists. Just makes more sense than for them to come from like random places. Okay, let's just finally show you what, okay, fire one of them, like how it looks when there's a lot of people coming in from all over the city towards you. So let's start time. And you will see now that a lot of taxis are summoned. Like here they come. Here and here. And these taxis will come in and pick up the people and start to bring them back to our headquarters. Like you can see they're spreading around the city. And more taxis are coming from this direction as well. Transtellar seems to own something here. Yeah, they own apartments here. So the taxis are coming and picking up people. And once again, must note, in vanilla people were traveling mostly by ground taxis, but in this version I've not yet have easy to calculate pathfinding for cities. So when we have that, we can order ground taxis as well, and we can like check if there's a path via ground, then order a ground taxi, else order a flying taxi. Again, in vanilla flying taxis were not really used, so why not use them? But people will travel by ground taxis if they can, and if they cannot, they will order a flying taxi. And maybe in the future there will be like a fee to pay, so you could like toggle, you could choose if you want to pay for the luxury of your people using flying taxi, or if you want them to use cheaper ground taxis. Anyways, so the taxis are coming in and they are, as you can see, delivering our recruits. There's like a hail of them. And they're coming from all over the city and delivering our people to us. So we can see, like, let's look. So here's a person coming, here's a person coming, and this person will now arrive and be inside our base. Let's watch this one. Basically, there's not enough taxis in the city to travel, for everybody to travel at once. So they have to wait a bit. So this person will now get picked up and get transported to our base. And if we set it to just create transportation instead of like calling existing taxis, this will look very fun. Okay, let's hire many people. Okay, 24 units hired. And now they all get a taxi spawn just for them. And move in all at once, and this looks cool. Like a swarm of taxi coming in. Maybe they will even have to fight for a docking space at the base. No, they fine. So yeah, this is now working, and the transfer screen is not yet done, but obviously you can cheat. And let's show. You can cheat, and I don't know if you could do this in vanilla, but you could do this with cargo, so I see no reason why you wouldn't be able to do this with the people. So basically what I mean by that is, if you want to transfer people, you just sack them here and hire them here. Okay, this is a bug. What the hell? I'll fix this. And then they get... Okay, who did we transfer this way? And let's do that again. Take Naomi Clark and we put her back to this base. Ah yes, it doesn't see anyone hired, so it doesn't execute the orders. Let's also... Okay, we can't. Let's demonstrate. I will fix this, but for now I'll just demonstrate. If we... No, more options. Where is it? Yes, this is my favorite option. So let's buy another base. Let's build the live quarters at this base. And let's buy some people. Let's hire someone. Fire Elise Brown and put Elise Brown here. So we're just hiring someone so that this message pops. And then, as you can see, Elise, is this her? Yeah, Elise Brown is now going to move to the new base, which we transferred her to by firing and hiring her back. Anyways, in the build that will be available, she will actually properly, like, you won't have to hire someone for this to work. You will just transfer people around and they will just move. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Basically, a huge new feature is done, and now basically this is all complete. In the future, I will implement the interface for these 4 options, which looks like this interface. So there will be no vanilla interface which like made one agent occupy this much space and only showed 6 agents per screen. Instead, you will have 2 lists of agents, and you will see, just like here, it will be like 12 agents per screen, and each list is individually scrollable. And if you will have like 50 agents on each side, this will really make a difference, that you don't have to scroll a list of 100 entries 6 at a time, but instead you can scroll 2 lists of 50. Okay, that's it for this update. Thank you very much for watching, and check out this new build when it's released on Upware. And see you again in the next video. Goodbye.